All right, let's go with another fun one. So this time, let's talk about Ningishzida. Ningishzida is one of a number of dying and resurrecting, not dying and being reborn, dying and resurrecting deities. And I make that distinction because there is very, very, very little evidence at all that the Mesopotamians had any idea of reincarnation. Um, in fact, we don't just have absence of evidence, we have evidence of absence. Because the texts say that when one goes into the underworld, they stay there forever, which doesn't really suggest reincarnation. But okay, so with that out of the way, let's talk about Ningishzida, because he dies and comes back. Um, we see in the myth, The Death of Ningishzida, that he goes to the underworld and he goes there on a barge and he eventually comes back. The end of the myth is a little bit broken, but it's generally understood that he comes back on a special chariot that you see referenced in a Nergal myth from much, much later. Ningishzida isn't just some interloper into the underworld, though. His father is the god Ninazu, and Ninazu's mother is the goddess Ereshkigal. And as anyone who knows anything about Mesopotamia knows, Ereshkigal is the supreme ruler of the underworld. She is the goddess that rules the land where spirits go when they die. Specifically, the land where the Gedim go when they die in Sumerian tradition. Now, you'll see a distinctive feature in Ningishzida artwork, and that is the twin snakes. So here in this first image, we see line art of the twin snakes coming out from his shoulders. Now, you'll notice that it kind of looks like the snakes are wearing a hat. This is because the snakes represent the horned viper. So the horned viper is a snake that has little spikes coming out from its head here. And if you see those horns, you'll recognize that those horns are present in a lot of snake and serpent images that you find from Mesopotamia. So you'll see horns on snake dragons, you'll see the horns on the tops of the heads of the little snakes coming out of the shoulders, and a lot of other serpent-like images. Keep an eye out for those when you see serpents in Mesopotamian art. In this next image, you can't very well make out the serpents, but they are coming out of the god Ningishzida's shoulders. Ningishzida is the second figure from the left, and he is leading a worshiper towards what is presumably a throned deity. Let's take a little closer look here in the next image. All right, now focusing on the twin snakes, you can see them kind of on the side here, and a line art of that piece wrapped around. You can see the snakes coiled against each other. Snakes will coil against each other. That is a thing that they do. But it's also thought that this may relate to how the snake sheds its skin and becomes young again, sort of in a rebirth. And it might also be related to a medical practice wherein you take a metal nail to get a parasitic worm out of somebody. And I hope you'll thank me, but I'm not going to show that image on this video because I find it really disgusting. Now, in modern times, a lot of people say that it is the double helix of DNA. There's no evidence at all that the Mesopotamians had any concept of DNA. But you'll see a similar symbol in the medical association's twin snakes with the wings up top. That is the, and I'm going to mangle the pronunciation, the caduceus. And the caduceus may have been adopted from the Mesopotamians by the Greeks. It's very likely, given the similarity in the symbol and the known contact that the two groups have had. Now, Ningishzida, because of that twin helix symbol, kind of looks, it's kind of popular among conspiracy theorists. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse there, so I'm just going to throw in a different image here. This is from the darkness. I find that that's a much better modern take on Ningishzida. Not that the darkness is connected to Ningishzida, but I'm just throwing that out here. Because most of his adventures take place either at dusk or at dawn. And Ningishzida is the god of dusk and dawn. Alright. Hope you had a good time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.